Hey, good morning. Good morning. Going on daily family and friends. We're so happy to be here. Hey, Chuck.
Good morning. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. It's going to be a good one. Looking forward to the show.
We're going to have ourselves a wonderful one today. It is actually Memorial Day here in America, and you are the second Canadian I'm going to be speaking with today
Oh,
at
cool.
just 9 a.m. So I think my day can really probably only go downhill from here. So we're going to make this the absolute peak of the day. Thank
Awesome.
you all for being here with us today for sure, right?
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. Awesome. And so, Chuck, you're going to go into the
We got some
amazing
stuff. We got
conference
we
that
got some
we got
news here
some
on Going
news
On
this
Daily,
week.
right?
Yeah,
We want
yeah.
to give a couple shout outs to start our show this morning. Number one, some exciting news. I think this has been made official because Ron just gave me the date. So it is going to be WDJY FM, Atlanta, Georgia, ladies and gentlemen. Going On Daily starting June 3rd is going to
Awesome.
be on the radio. So
Woo!
that's a pretty cool little thing. And we're all kind of doing our best to hopefully be able to get a little part and be on there as well.
Yeah.
We've got Ron. We don't have Ron, ladies and gentlemen. That was Ron, our producer, the man who makes it all happen behind the scenes. He's awesome.
Yeah.
And not just with the radio, we've got something else pretty cool going on here, ladies and gentlemen, and that is a new show sponsor. We want to thank Mace Fitness. Mace Fitness, I was just doing a little bit of research before we started the show here. This looks like a really cool thing for people in a fitness journey. Maybe you're trying to find some structure, trying to find some specifics that you can help target certain things with. It is an amazing app. For $9 a month, you can get fully detailed plans. Everything shows you the details on what you need to do, so on and so forth. So shout out to Mace Fitness as well.
Looks pretty
And
awesome.
we are happy to be here. And thank you guys for your support. Go check out Mace Fitness today.
Thank you. It's awesome. We're all growing. That's great. Yeah.
Indeed.
And Chuck, you're going to share about tributes to the Shrub. So this is Flower Week. So I'm really curious about how the Shrub is fitting into.
Well, this has nothing to do with flowers, but
Oh,
the
okay.
Shrub is in reference to a person. And I want to kind of start this off by saying this is Memorial Day weekend. Today is Memorial Day here in America. And as with every holiday, there are specific traditions we have here in the US. And one of the greatest things about Memorial Day weekend is it is the best day for auto racing. So we have the Indianapolis 500, which yesterday was the 110th consecutive version of that. And then in the evening, they have the NASCAR Coca-Cola 600. So there's a 500 mile and a 600 mile, and these guys race together. One is during the day, one is in the evening. And the topic right here is about this gentleman that's just been brought up, Kyle Busch. So last Thursday, they were getting ready for this Coca-Cola 600 race, which is a annual tradition. It's the longest race. 25 years ago yesterday, I actually went to my very first race, and it was the Coca-Cola 600 in Charlotte. So
cool.
Big deal. And this gentleman is Kyle Busch. He's known as the Shrub because Busch, he was the younger brother. His brother, Kurt Busch, was bigger than him. So the baby Busch is the Shrub, right? Well, this guy, Luannah, has been one of the most successful race car drivers in history.
Wow.
He, over the course of the last 22 years, has won over 230 NASCAR races, like at the high level. There are guys that drive for their entire lives that never win a race ever. Kyle Busch is such an exceptional talent that he started at 19. He won the most races in the history of the two series that you get to get to the highest level, and it's not even close. He's so far ahead of everybody. Most successful, most wins in history. He's a multi-time champion and widely considered to be probably, dare I say, the best NASCAR driver of this generation for sure, and one of the best ever. Well, Thursday, I came out of an appointment that I was at, and I scrolled on my social media real quick, and I saw something that was absolutely horrific and shocking. And basically, Kyle Busch died. He randomly died on Thursday at the age of 41 years old. He was just at a practice thing in a racing simulator, fell over and died. And we come to find out after the fact that he had pneumonia and it developed into sepsis. And he passed away extremely quickly.
Oh my
And
goodness.
but it was such a shock.
Wow.
Nobody in the world, this guy literally won the race 6 days earlier. He won the race 6 days earlier. So, I mean, this was completely out of the blue. There was nothing that anybody saw coming at all.
Wow.
And it was such a terrible shock. But the worst part about it and the hardest part about it is if you follow these sporting events, you realize that with NASCAR, they go on the road 36 weeks out of the year. Basically, they live in RVs, 3-4 days out of the week. The kids all grow up together. They live together in a tight-knit community, but it's kind of a traveling road show. And you get to kind of learn a little bit about the families and the people along the way throughout their career. Like I said, this is the most successful, winningest guy in history. So it wasn't just some random guy. This is one of the very best.
Yeah.
He has a young son who 3 days prior to his passing turned 11.
Oh.
Kyle has been grooming and helping his son with racing since he was just couldn't even reach the pedals, and he had him out there. His son is very successful as an 11-year-old, and you start to think about the families in situations like this. And basically with Kyle Busch, you kind of see their family because they're in the limelight. He's out there, he's with his son, showing, his entire deal. And it's like, you just wonder, what could have been? How tragic was this? So yesterday at the Coca-Cola 600, Kyle Busch's family, his wife and their son, 11-year-old, and their 4-year-old daughter were there because, again, that's the family. You would think to yourself in a moment like that, you'd probably want to have solitude. You probably want to be away. But these are the people that they know and love and have been spending the last 20 plus years every weekend with. And it was incredibly touching. I'm not going to lie. I went golfing yesterday because I didn't really want to watch it because I thought it was going to be really family oriented. They were going to have his wife there and kid, and they did. And it was extremely touching. I can't imagine anybody that watched it didn't cry and just really feel the emotion of it. But one of the most touching things was another driver's little son came by there, and during the moment, the 11-year-old was being very strong. His mom was breaking down, crying. He was standing up and he was being the man, and he was doing what dad would have wanted him and been proud of. But he was standing strong and doing this. But as an 11-year-old, that's got to be so horrific. One of the other kids came up and just put his arm around him and was kind of giving him and it just brought such a wave of emotion to you. So, the tribute to the Shrub is a guy who started at a young age. He was very brash, very opinionated, very, not afraid to say that he's the best and everybody else sucks. And some of the radio chatter that you hear over the years was like amazing. But then you find out afterwards as well, this guy has helped get so many people into the sport. People that are racing at the highest level started with his team that he funded and built. And he would go out and bring young guys into the sport, young ladies, and they've made it to the highest levels of it because of his mentorship and what they were doing. So just a huge loss for the racing community, for, anybody that watches that. It's like such a polarizing character, kind of like when Dale Earnhardt passed away back in 2001. He was the face of this sport then, and he died at the end of the race in a car wreck, and nobody expected that either. So you lose the face, you have to go through a transformation. This guy was that generation's version. The kids that watch NASCAR now, he was the guy that they looked up to and saw as the greatest, and just a terrible thing. But when you start to realize the kind of person that they were outside and the contributions that they've done, how they've helped so many people into this, it really just, it tugs at your heartstrings. And it was so sad because in his last Victory Lane speech, just 6 days prior to his death, they said, how how do you feel about this? He said, I feel awesome. And, you know, every win that you have, how do you keep getting excited? And his words were, you never know when the last one's going to be. So you have to be appreciative of it.
Wow.
And literally 6 days later, the guy was completely gone. So
Wow.
there's something beautiful about not knowing your time and walking out the door one day and just not coming home. But then also you think about all the people that are affected by it, and just, you feel really terrible. It's a sad state of affairs. So I went out yesterday. I went golfing. I got cart number 18, which was actually Kyle Busch's number.
Oh,
And
wow.
I had the best golf game ever of my entire life. So I like to think that that was just a good way that I could do tribute there by going out and playing golf. So that was what this last couple of days was about. It was really shocking. It was really terrible. And then you see all of the text messages, you know, 3 days earlier, you know, your mom and I love you so much to the son. We're so proud of who you're becoming, and we can't wait to see who you become. And just to know that that's never going to happen, and that it happens so fast. You know, pay attention to your health, folks. Guy had pneumonia. He was coughing a little bit. He asked for some help a few weeks earlier. So there was something going on that everybody was kind of aware of. And I think, you know, when you're at that level, you kind of tough things out sometimes. And unfortunately, I was talking about that yesterday with a buddy. You know, we've all played hurt, and sometimes you just need to take a couple days and rest. And unfortunately, it's not going to happen for him. But that's a tribute to Kyle Busch, the Shrub. I know it's Flower Week, and that's really not a flower, but that's something that needed to be done, and he deserves the flowers. So there you go, Kyle Busch. Rest in peace, my friend.
What a legacy that he leaves behind, even just in your own life, through the inspiration and through the heartfelt feelings that get activated, right? So yeah, what a legacy. God bless, bless his family. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that, Chuck.
Wanted to definitely share that this morning. That's a touching story. So there you go.
Very happy you shared that. Thank you. Thank you. Broadened my world too, because I don't have any knowledge of that realm. So yeah. So thank you, everybody who's here live and everybody who's here after the fact watching a replay. I just want to give you guys a little more information. Wherever you are, there's other places you can watch us. You can watch us on YouTube, Rumble and Kick at Rhode Island Broadcasting, on Twitch at RI_broadcasting, on X Twitter at BroadcastingRI, and then you can listen to us through audio on Red Circle, Spotify, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio at RI Broadcasting, and also at Amazon, and then now also in WDJY-FM. That is so amazing that we have a radio show now. That's incredible. And then you can follow our social media. We have passed the 100 mark in Facebook, and we're streaming, and we're doing really well. So please keep us growing. Keep us growing. Go to Facebook now and just click like. And then, we can just keep growing there back to our 10,000 and beyond. That's going to be awesome as we can see that grow. And then you can follow us also on Blue Sky, MeWe, Parler, Gab, LinkedIn, Space Hey at RI Broadcasting. And then also you can find us on the Facebook page as mentioned, and you can go to the website and watch any of the replays that you like. All of the shows are there. And so now I'm going to lead into this next segment, or no, we're doing the Hall of Fame first, I think, right? Yes, the Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame. I was leaping past it. Okay, so if you could vote for your Hall of Fame, what is your favorite? Weird Science, Back to the Future, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Platoon, or The Shining? I remember The Shining. My sister smuggled me into the drive-in theater under a blanket under the back seat, and I had nightmares forever. So that's not going to be one of mine. But I remember those days, the drive-ins, right?
Oh, yeah. Trust me. I've seen some movies in times when I wasn't supposed to. I voted for Back to the Future. I know Back to the Future was substantially ahead last week. This is the final week for voting on favorite 80s movies for the Hall of Fame. There's not really a bad option. Maybe The Shining might be a little bit, like an apple and a bunch of oranges. But Back to the Future is now down to 70. As you recall, we went from 71 to 72 to 77. And now we're back down to 70. So someone else is catching some votes here, folks.
Ooh,
And
Ooh,
I am going to assume it's probably Raiders of the Lost Ark
yes, I'm gonna guess
because
that
why
too.
wouldn't it be, right?
Yeah, yeah, totally.
So there
Yeah.
you go.
So get your vote in, and we see Danny's saying hi to us there. Hey, Danny, thank you, and Hugo, thank you. You are our wonderful regulars, are always watching us here, supporting us. So thank you so much. And now I'm going to go on to my topic that I'm so excited to share about. Yeah.
We're excited to hear.
Have you heard of the Queen of the Night? Do you know what the Queen of the Night is?
I think that that's probably up to interpretation. I'm a roofer from Texas, so Queen of the
Okay.
Night may have a completely different definition here. I would have to assume probably not the same as what you're about to teach us.
So if you see on the screen, there's a beautiful flower there. So Queen of the Night is a very rare flower, and it only blooms for about 4 hours once a year.
All right. I love it.
Right? It's pretty, it's an incredible, and we have one. So this bloom that's on the screen is actually from our last bloom last year. So it's just the most extraordinary flower. So, and for me, it really makes me always think whenever I'm there and I witness it, if I miss it, it's like, oh no. Fortunately, we get a few blossoms each year. So last year we had 5. And so in the first year, we only had 1. And so when you think of this, like for 4 hours, it blooms for just 4 hours. Like
Anticipation for the
what a
entire time. And then
creation,
it's like,
right?
I wonder if the Queen of the Night feels at the end of the 4 hours like that was worth all that anticipation, all that work, or is it like, oh man, that's all I
Yeah,
get, 4 hours?
I don't know, but also it's the wonder. Like look at all the intensity that life put into creating this flower for 4 hours bloom, and the whole house smells so beautiful. And it starts with just this tiny little bud, and it grows, 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 grows. And we have another picture that Ron might put on there of the side view. It's got these incredible tentacles all around it. It's just the most magnificent thing. So it's actually called Epiphylium axpetalum, which is night blooming cereus or a princess of the night, and called also the Dutchman's pipe cactus and orchid cactus.
All
And
right.
so, yeah, so it's native to southern Mexico, Central America, and parts of South America. But today it's known all the way around the world, and also in Asia, a lot in Bali, actually, where entire families, they actually make a ceremony to gather to watch the blooming, which is really cool. So the flower only opens at night. It reaches full bloom for only a few hours, and it fills the space, like I said, with this sweetness. It's even sweeter than jasmine. It's just beautiful. Like I'd say a cross between jasmine and cherry blossoms. What a smell. And then by morning, it's hanging, it's wilting. Oh yeah, here's the up in the top corner. That's what the flower looks like above my head. There,
Nice.
that's what it looks like from the side. Great graphics, Ron. I love how
I
you
was going
use
to say these graphics are so great that I literally just thought that Queen of the Night was like there in the room with you. It blended in perfectly.
it just blended in.
Wonderful job on
Yeah,
the graphics, my
thank you,
friend.
Ron. It's really awesome. Yeah. And so what I love about it is like when I see it, and when you look really deep in it, the intricacies of what it is just, it just blows my mind. And for me, I use everything in nature as a empowerment reflection of our own purpose and capacity. If life created us, right, then
Indeed.
we've got something to bloom too, to contribute to this magnificent universe, right? And so some of the spiritual meanings throughout the different traditions are like in India and China, they say it's associated with good fortune, prosperity, blessings, and wishes fulfilled, right?
Nice.
And people say that if you witness it bloom, you're receiving a blessing. And some families gather again, like in ceremony, they'll make a pot of tea, they'll sit together, and they'll sit there all night and wait for it to bloom. And they will sit and they will watch it until the bloom is gone. Right? It's beautiful. So symbolically, it's come to represent rare beauty, patience, timing, transformation, impermanence, and trusting life's unfolding. And especially the timing, like if you think of, we have dreams, right? And like, just imagine, our dream only is going to have a bloom, but we have to wait for it, right? We have to wait and wait and wait. Hopefully it's going to be longer than just a few hours, but just that endurance and that patience of nature that knows I don't need to rush. It's coming. The bloom is coming, right?
Absolutely.
And then it blossoms at night. And they say it blossoms at night possibly because it'll attract bats and other night moths to pollinate. That's one of the scientific thoughts they have of why it blooms at night and not during the day. And at night, of course, the smell is even stronger. Just like when I remember when I was in Thailand and I walked by a tree of jasmine. Oh my gosh, it almost knocked me out at night, but during the day, it didn't smell a thing. So yeah.
I was going to say, in Thailand, are you sure that was jasmine? Just saying.
Yeah, it could have been something.
It could knock you out. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And so bringing it back, because I always bring everything back to the human relationship, right? How often do we judge ourselves because our bloom isn't here yet, right? Like I was saying, we compare, we rush, we assume nothing is happening, but underneath the roots are forming and something is preparing, something is becoming. Oh, I just got visited by, this is our other dog, Coco.
Nice. What's up, Coco? Coming at you live.
This is Pono's sister, right? And so the queen of the night is, it's like, it's got a metaphor for us to just like trust the process, trust the process and keep growing, right? No matter what. Yeah. And so that's my share on the queen of the night. And it's such a beautiful thing. And pretty soon, in about 2 months, we're going to have hopefully another round of blossoms. And I just love that. And anybody who's listening, Google it, look up online and see this magnificent flower. The intricacies are just out of this world for only blooming 4 hours. So yeah, so that's my little spiel on my flower for this flower week, the queen of the night.
I like the queen of the night. And I do, really quickly, before we segue into the next thing, I do want to give a quick update on our episode from last week. As you recall, we were talking about the process of the coffee beans and the cats that were eating the cherries and the coffee beans and the Tim Hortons and all this that came along with it. Well, I'd like for you to know, Luannah, guess what happened the day after I swore that I would never drink Tim Hortons again?
Okay. What happened?
They just announced that they're going to build a Tim Hortons right here in San Antonio. I've been here for 7 years and I've been waiting for that. The day that I was like a little bit kind of, I decided that I just might not. But you know what I did? I spoke to my friend on my podcast about an hour and a half ago, and I told him the same thing because he was also a Tim Hortons fan. He told me to get a double-double. I told him the story, and then I said, you know what? I'm just going to pretend like I don't know that myth. I've never heard it before. It's been compartmentalized. So we're getting a Tim Hortons, though. That is the craziest thing because I've been waiting 7 years, and I've said if we ever get a Tim Hortons and a Bojangles, San Antonio will be perfect. We got Bojangles last year, and now Tim Hortons. I never have to leave. So thank you for that.
But that's just so funny, update. The timing. That is hilarious.
Just this. Amazing. You know, we should have talked about it years ago, and I probably would have gotten my Tim Hortons then. So there you go. We love it.
Thanks for sharing that, Chuck. That's hilarious. All right. And so now we're going to show an ad of our sponsor, Maze Gym. So that's going to be really great, everybody. And, you know, they're bringing us to a new level, a new exposure and everything. And that's how we grow. So like the Queen of the Night, we're growing. Growing
Absolutely.
on daily is growing, right? But we're going to be in for a longer bloom.
We're going to be here for a long time. And one thing I do want to mention, this is a really good partnership. I really like it. See if you guys who are fans of the show that watch the show daily, see if you recognize the voiceover actress in the ad, because pretty high energy person that we all like. So thank you to Mace, and let's get a little word from our sponsor.
Yes.
Looking for a fitness app that actually fits in your life, not the other way around? The Mace Fitness app is your personal fitness coach in your pocket. That's M-A-S-E. Mace Fitness app makes fitness simple and affordable. The build your own workout option allows you to choose the exercises, the focus area, and the pace that works best for you. This app feature is only $9 a month. You'll get over 630 guided exercise videos, build your own workout tools, strength, mobility, balance, and flexibility training, easy to follow instructions, fitness anytime, anywhere. Mace Fitness, just $9 a month.
Yeah. I love it.
Yay. Good energy. Let's go.
It's great to have a sponsor,
Awesome.
and look at that, Hugo, right out of the gate.
Yeah.
You recognize the high energy. You recognize that is our friend Mickey and Mace Fitness. We're ecstatic to have Mace Fitness as our sponsor. So thank you guys for that. And
Thank you.
Rock and roll. We're going to go right into another segment here, which has a little bit more to do with fitness as well, kind of theme.
Okay.
I love it. I didn't even realize that Mace Fitness was going to be announced as our sponsor today,
Oh,
but
serendipity.
it's crazy how stuff like this works. So my goal for today is to clear up a few questions that I have regarding etiquette as it pertains to the fitness center. And Mace Fitness, you guys picked the perfect week to join because maybe some folks from Mace can help me with this as well. So Luannah, I like to go to the gym. It's a good release of stress and just a good way to start off your day. And I've been doing routine for over 20 years. Really love just going and I don't even talk to people. I just put my headphones in, I do my thing, and I'm rocking and rolling, right? So we have a community at our gym. It's a 24-hour fitness center. And one thing that I recognized is there are windows, and every single hour has like their own people, right? I go at 4 o'clock in the morning to 5:15. I see the same people every day. If you come in at 5:30, though, it's like a whole new wave of people that continue to filter on throughout the day. But one thing that we all do is we all kind of keep an eye out for our own people at the gym.
Right.
So my 4 o'clock people, I don't know any of them personally. I've really only spoken to one guy one time in the 2.5 years. But there's like an unspoken respect, right?
Yeah.
If you see people at 4 o'clock every morning, you know, they get up, they go to the gym, they're good people. Those are the kind of people you want on your team. So I kind of keep an eye whenever we get new people that come rolling into the gym, because you have to make sure that they're going to be acceptable for your tribe, so to speak. Even though we don't speak, I think we all want the very best. We don't want to have people in there that we have to deal with that are problematic. You know, some of the issues we have in the gym, I personally have problems with, like people that don't wipe off their machines when they're done. One day I'm going to end up getting in a fist fight at the gym, and I just don't want it to happen, but I know, because I think it's gross when people are working out and they like sweat all over the stuff and they don't even have enough decency or regard for the other people to take a towel and clean it off with disinfectant. So, you know, sit in my sweat, you know, whatever. I don't like that, but I don't cause many problems when it comes to these things, but I keep them in the back of my mind. And if there is a chance later on down the road, maybe I see this guy with a flat tire and he needs my help, and I just drive by because sorry about your luck, you know. I will do that somewhere down the road, but I started thinking about some of the other things that some of these folks do when they come in. And yesterday, I think I saw the worst possible thing that a new person in the gym could get caught doing immediately. And I want input from the crowd here because I was very distracted by it, and I was very disappointed and upset. And dare I say, I kind of did want to have a conflict yesterday with this person because of what he was doing. So we live in a world now where you're constantly being watched. You're being recorded. You're being viewed for cameras everywhere. Who knows what's going on? People flying drones over your house. And there's literally like nothing anymore that you can do if you walk outside the door to avoid it, right? And so they make these devices that I think are not appropriate for certain surroundings, okay? And here's what I'm getting at. Luannah, I'm at the gym yesterday I went a little bit later. It was about, say, 6 a.m. Still dark out here in San Antonio, Texas. I see this new guy come into the gym yesterday, and he's wearing dark sunglasses, okay? This is a dead giveaway right out of the gate to me. Like, why are you wearing dark sunglasses inside when it's nighttime out?
Right.
This doesn't make sense. Right. I start thinking about it, and I'm like, well, they make these stupid sunglasses that you can record everything out of, right? So now we have to be on the lookout for these things. And anytime you see people with like the horn rim glasses, you're like, okay, you know, shape up. This guy's trying to record. He's trying to record, okay? Right. Now, I don't have a problem with people recording in the gym.
Yeah.
You're minding your own business and you're doing your own thing and
Yeah.
you're doing your deal, you know? People do that. I see people there, they set up a tripod. Cool. I don't even have anything bad against that. Some people don't like it.
Yeah.
Doesn't bother me in the slightest. You can even get me on camera if you want. Feel pretty good about my routine. So that's good. But if you've got someone that is unaware and they don't realize that they're being recorded.
Yeah. Yeah.
This was my Sunday morning discovery. Okay.
Right,
Now,
right.
immediately I start, as soon as you see a new person, like I said, I feel like as one of the elder statesmen, I've been going to that gym since the day it opened. I've been
Right.
there literally like the entire time as what I consider an elder statesman, even though I'm not old.
Right. But
I feel like it's my responsibility to look out for those that may not be able to look out for themselves. I catch this creep, okay? And I'm not even, I got to preface this by saying, I don't have proof yet. But some of the things that you see kind of add up and you start wondering, like the guy's kind of doing this and kind of touching his thing. I see some young lady across the room, like working out, doing squats. And I'm like, I see the guy and he's like hiding over here, but he's looking over here. And his face is like, dude, I know where this is. And I'm watching and I'm like, huh, this is not cool. Like, I'm starting to get really, really like mad because that's disgusting. Number one, if you're watching our show today and you have the Meta glasses, don't be wearing them to the gym because people like me are going to look at you and we're going to assume the worst. And this dude was giving off some vibes because he was kind of hiding and like kind of peeping around the corner and stuff, you know? And I'm like, so I start getting more and more frustrated by the situation to the point where I'm like, all right, I got to confront this dude because I'm pretty sure, you know, I'm not positive, but I'm pretty sure. I think if it came down to it, they wouldn't kick me out of the gym for life if I did what I was going to do. Well, this guy recognized my face immediately as soon as we made eye contact because he looked up and I must have been staring a hole right through as like, dude, I'm about to throw you through the wall because instantly this guy got up and left. And I mean, it was like,
wow,
he was out of the gym in like 30 seconds, right? Which then just kind of solidifies my belief. Something heinous was going on with this dude. And I want to go to the people at the gym and I want to ask. I know it's a public place. I know that stuff is there, but it's not really a public place if you pay a membership to go to.
Exactly. Yeah.
And the use of those glasses. I don't care about the phones. If you see someone doing it with your phone, like
at least you can see it and you know you can get out of the way. Right?
You get out of the way or you aggressively pursue that because you're aware you can see it. But those glasses are too deceptive. And I see people in the gym that are completely unsuspecting. And I saw it with my own two eyes. And obviously when I eye contact with this dude, gone. So I went in today and I was like, all right, let's see if this dude comes back today. I'm ready. And I'll be ready for the next, you know, however long. Probably will never come back, I would assume, because I think when you get busted once, you don't return to the scene. But if you do, I'll be there waiting. But I think that it's definitely a horrible thing. And I wanted to get your input on this. The people in the audience, the crowd, the millions and millions of listeners worldwide, all over. Is this something that you guys think is acceptable?
No.
Being able to walk into a gym, and mostly it's guys, because women are not perverts like dudes are. And I'm a guy. I admit this freely. This dude was definitely a perv. And whether or not it was true, I know that that's a big accusation, but I'm not mentioning names. I'm not saying I don't know the dude's name, so couldn't even describe him.
But ran out when he saw you.
Looking dude with sunglasses on in the middle of the night, probably not meaning well. So I think that's good. And I think that if I were at any facility, if I was at Mace Fitness and I saw it, you know what I'd do? The same thing.
Yeah. Did you report it to the people?
I want to talk to the lady first, and I want to tell her first, and I want to say, okay, look, I don't know this to be a fact. So again, it's kind of, that's a pretty bold accusation, and I am publicly saying it right here on Going On Daily Live. But you have to be a little careful. Okay. Maybe there was something else going on. I'm going to approach this lady and I'm going to say, look, here's what I saw. Please be aware of your surroundings. If we see this dude come back, I will point him out and I will, be more than happy to lead the charge towards whatever we need to do at that point. But, that's the plan of attack for me. So we'll see. But things you shouldn't do at the gym. You should wipe down your machines. You should not eat in the locker room either. That's not got anything to do with what we're doing. But there's a guy that eats breakfast in the locker room at the gym. And I don't know what the women's locker room is like, but the men's locker room is filthy. And this dude is in there eating breakfast sandwiches every morning while there's grown men taking showers, urinating like less than 10 feet away at the stalls. And don't do that either. That's completely unrelative to what I was talking about with the glasses, but that's not acceptable in the gym either. And I feel like it fits in this. So there you go.
It fits in it. It does. Yeah,
I'm feeling good about where we're going today. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is my segment. Is this acceptable in the gym? Brought to you by Mace Fitness. Thank you, Mace Fitness, for giving me that, because we were able to tie it in beautifully on our first episode. So let's talk about something else healthy and happy. What do you say, Luannah?
Yeah. Let's talk about the Uganda Fund. Yeah. So Becky, one of our most amazing hosts, she took, I think it was about a whole month, right? She was away for a month.
She was there for a couple weeks, I think. Yeah.
And so she really got involved with the family there and was inspired to create a fund to help them go to school. It only costs $500 a year to send a child to school there. That's not a lot of money for us, right?
It's not.
So, and then for a new roof, it's what, $400 or something like that, $400 or $500 as well. I think, I can't remember the amount that she said. But so what we've done through Becky as a team here and going on daily is we thought, let's create a fund where 100% of the funds is going to go straight to the families and the schools that need it. So please check it out. Go to RhodeIslandBroadcasting.net/Uganda-donations. And also Ron is going to be writing a book too for the donations, right? So then you get a book in exchange as well for whatever you donate. I think that's how it's going to work. So, there's so much suffering in the world everywhere, right? And of course, we'd love to help everywhere we can. Sometimes I know for me, I'm not always trusting these bigger organizations because I've given money to lots of them before. And then later I found out, the people are not really getting
like 1% of your donation goes to the actual cause and the other 99 goes to the CEO.
Yeah, totally. There was like for about a year and a half, I was fostering 2 kids in Tibet many years ago. And then I found out that whole agency was being charged with fraud and all kinds of stuff. So with this, what's beautiful is, we are the face of the Uganda Fund and nobody's getting any money here and it's going straight to the family. And so that, I really like that. That really warms my heart. And so anybody who feels a movement to want to contribute to helping the world become a better place and, in an easy way, in a simple way, then here's one of your possibilities right here with the Uganda Fund. So please check us out again at RhodeIslandBroadcasting.net/Uganda-donations. And that will be amazing. Yeah.
It would. You want to know something else? I'd like to make a potential game-changing announcement right here on the show.
Okay.
I told you a little bit about this earlier, but just about an hour and a half ago, I was doing a podcast of my own, which is Keeping It Real podcast, ladies and gentlemen. I highly encourage you to check that out. Yeah. YouTube and every other channel that you can get for podcasts. But my gentleman is a friend of mine who's a roofing professional from Ontario, Canada. And our Canadian friends, once again, we started talking a little bit about our deal over there at Marineland that I'm obsessed with. We started talking about Tim Hortons. We started talking about all kinds of things. But this gentleman has just started at a new company. He'd been with the software company for years that sponsors my podcast, moved out into the roofing world again after years behind the screen. The company he works for is based in Ontario, and they are continuously doing mission trips to do roofs in Uganda.
Wow.
So I'm going to try to
amazing.
tie this all together. I'm going to introduce Becky to the folks at the roofing company
Yeah.
and try to get this all together and see if we can't maybe
Amazing.
tie it all into one big thing and take care of some people
Oh,
with, you know, other folks that have their hearts in the right place as well. So not too
beautiful.
bad. And I do want to comment one thing on what Sharon said as well. This dude definitely, maybe he was a private investigator. I think he was investigating some privates, but I do not think that this lady is in any way, shape, or form like disabled. She's like a bodybuilder. So I'm not sure that that was what was going on. I do think private investigation was the key, but I don't think it was that kind of private investigation, unfortunately. So just my 2 cents on that. I will keep you guys abreast of the situation as details come back around. So there you go.
Yeah. Well, thanks for that. And I think it's just amazing too, just another example of serendipity, right? So there's that saying, when we move, life moves, right? So when we take an action, life comes and meets us there with the next 5 steps. We take 1 step, 5 steps come towards us. And I love that. And it's just like magic. Like, what are the odds? What are the odds?
And I was telling you the same thing. My friend there, it was very similar to us. My friend had just gotten his driver's license like a month ago. And I thought, you know what? I know someone else was telling me that she just got a driver's license not that long ago. So
5 years ago.
Life is good. In Canada, people wait until, you know, until they don't have that road rage in them to actually get their licenses, which I think is a great idea. I wish I could have waited till I was like 40 to get my license. I would have probably, well, no, I don't. I enjoyed it because I used to drive a big truck. So that was fun. But that's very,
well, now
very
that I'm
interesting.
driving, you know, you were talking about this amazing Shrub. Kyle Bush was his name, right? And I have a love for speed. I have to control it. But sometimes I've thought, I think I was a race car driver in a past life. I've got this, I love feeling the car. So, but I think if I would have got my license before 50, I think my nervous system was still a little bit too nervous and raw that it might have been different. But now I just love driving. I could go on a road trip and I love it.
It's the best. Right? Yeah. I drive everywhere and it's just, I love to be in the car, and sometimes some of the greatest conversations I've had. I've learned a lot because I used to do like 20-hour one-way road trips, and I would listen to audiobooks and courses, and I'd learn all kinds of things. And it was like, that's my education. And that folks probably explains a lot about me, because I'd mix in a lot of other stuff that probably wasn't so wholesome and educational, but you can learn about it on my YouTube channel if you'd like. That's chuckallen.com, youtube.com, chuckallen210, right?
Yeah, check out. Okay. And for me, it's my link tree, and there you'll find everything. I also have a free book that I've offered. I just released it. And this is a book that has been wanting to be created for over 8 years. I wrote the story when I was visiting my grandmother and she was dying. And I was sitting in my grandmother's willow tree that I used to play in when I was a little girl. And I wrote this little story, and I've been waiting to put it into a book. And then I finally found it again because I kept misplacing all the pages. And so I just launched it like a few weeks ago, and it's free. It's there to inspire and uplift humanity, you know, to connect a little deeper to life and to heart and soul. So that's there on the link. And amongst my other books and other things that I do, my website, Serenity by the Sea, and everything like that. So check it out there and pick up your free copy. I think hopefully you'll enjoy it, and let me know how you like it. I'd like to learn how people are loving it. So that's really great.
Of course. Yeah. And you know what I always tell folks when they are writing a book and people are giving you good positive feedback, and you get a message from someone that you may not even know, and they are telling you how impactful it's been. Yes. You know what that means?
It's incredible.
But do you know what that really specifically means, Luannah?
No, what does that mean?
It means you matter.
I matter, right?
You matter. So let's go on and see exactly how much you matter, my friend.
That was awesome, Chuck.
I don't know if y'all are watching the time either, but we're nailing it. We're like hitting the post every single step of the way here. Come on.
Yeah. Okay. So you matter. So, and this I drew off of from my Queen of the Night, because 4 hours, you know, so I wanted to add this extra, you know, layer of reflection, because, if creation saw fit, again, I'm repeating myself, but I want to drive it in, to make a flower that blooms for one night. Well, perhaps it's worth considering and, seeing the fact that you're also made of that same intelligence and that creation. We all are. And it's not metaphorical. It's actually real. So you are stardust. You are stardust.
Indeed.
Scientists have discovered something incredible, that the elements of our body, carbon, oxygen, nitrogen, calcium, iron, were forged in the stars. That's science. And so when stars reach the end of their life, they release these elements into space over billions of years. Those same elements became planets, oceans, trees, flowers, and you and me. So quite literally, we are ancient stardust organized in human form. Now, look at that miracle, right? And I'm thinking of what your man Kyle Bush said. You never know when it's your last time, so we got to make the most, right? So to really see, like, he found his purpose. He loved what he's doing, and that's the purpose of life, to find what we love to do and do it. That's what I think. I think we are here to build joy and life and goodness, and to contribute and to share in that way. So he's a good example of that, saying he found his joy and he just went for it right to the very end. It's incredible, right? So kind of everything ties in. You and I, we always seem to tie in our topics. And even though we don't know.
Exactly. That's
even though we
professionals
don't
right
know
there.
what we're talking about, eh?
You belong on the radio. Come on.
Yeah, it's exactly. So, you're not just standing under the stars at night, you are one. And this is where it becomes really incredible and astonishing, because those atoms that once lived inside stars, now these atoms can think, they can feel, they can dream.
Unfortunately, in some cases.
Love. They can wonder. Pardon, Chuck?
Unfortunately, in some cases, some of these atoms think a little bit too much. And some of them are just dudes named Adam, too, and they think way too much. So,
for sure. Absolutely. I mean, there's always, it's like anything can be used. A pen could be used to write a beautiful poem, or it could be used to throw at somebody. I mean, like everything. So hopefully we're using our atoms in a good way, and we realign to make it even better, right? But you're right. And so the universe became conscious to even ask about itself. We can even think. Like, for me, one of the things that I'm astounded by is that we can even change, that there is the capacity to change. There is a capacity to have a new thought and make a new direction and transform. And biologically, our brain is open a third of a second of every single second to make a new change. It's waiting for a fresh new command. So when we say that we can't change, we're full of it. It's not true. We want to change, we can change. And science has proven that, which I love that fact. When I learned that fact, I thought, okay, I'm using every third of a second I can to change what I want to change. And I do, and I have, and it's awesome. So that's why I want to inspire people here with this one and the Queen of the Night. There's so much inside of each of us. And somewhere, life is hard and struggles, and I've had my share as well, right? But there's always that choice of, am I going to let this define me, or I'm going to define myself through what I experience? And we have so many great people in history who have done that, and they're the ones who inspired me to keep rising no matter what. And rising, what's rising? We're stars. Let's rise. What do stars do? They shine. So shine your little light inside, right? And then another thing about that science discovered, which blew my mind when I learned it, is that atoms are mostly empty space. So if the nucleus were the size of a grain of rice, the electrons would be incredibly far away, meaning that what feels solid is mostly energetic relationship, which means that what we call matter is far more mysterious than we once believed. It's actually energy, it's frequency. And at the smallest levels, science stopped finding tiny hard particles and started finding just fluid and fields and probability. Well, not fluid, fields and probability, relationship, movement, interaction. And isn't that what we're here to do with each other too? So
absolutely.
Everything in life is relationship, movement, interaction, probability, possibility, fields of energy, right? So things don't appear completely independent. They arise in relationship. And the same with quantum physics. You can never know what an atom looks like before you look at it, because the moment the observer looks at it, it changes. So that's the power. Let that set in. That's the power. The moment we observe something, we are contributing to the creation of whatever we're observing. It's incredible. That's like, wow, right? I got something in my eye. So everything participates, everything belongs, and everything influences. So everything that you do, every thought you have ripples. It ripples into that field of energy. Jacombe, what was his name? Jacombe Greenberg. He was a South American physicist, and he said there's the lattice field, right? So every breath, every thought we have is rippling, and then that's rippling back. So there's a lot of amazing. I love science for this. I'm very spiritual, but I love science. It's great. It complements each other perfect, and then the breath, and there's take one breath, and the oxygen entering your body, it may have once passed through ancient forests, dinosaurs, oceans, and another human being. So we're not just breathing, we call it fresh air, but we're breathing the air that Jesus and Buddha breathed still, right? And that's a pretty incredible discovery. And to understand that, it gives more meaning, and in Hawaii, aloha means in the presence of the breath of God. So they see the breath as that frequency of intelligence and life and love that's nourishing us with every breath. And the moment we bring attention to it, it can nourish us even stronger. And so love is just a breath away, right? Connecting to that infinite force is just a breath away, right? So the atoms in your body have traveled through the stars, through the mountains, through life itself, and nothing is isolated. So again, I'm tying it back to the Queen of the Night. If creation puts such detail into a flower, and please look it up online and see the detail. And if the same universal intelligence that formed these stars, formed your eyes, formed your hands, formed your heart, it's beating your heart, you don't have to think about it. How could you not matter? How could you not matter? And so maybe our role is not to become valuable in the way that we think in the worldly world, but to become curious enough and present enough and alive enough to discover what is life trying to express through you. What is your unique gift and contribution to life that comes through your joy, through doing what you love. And that's the name of my book, is Come Alive. It's to inspire that to come out. So you matter. And you are matter, and you're also not matter, because you're
energy. Dust in the wind, right? And everything that goes along with it. That is so cool.
Exactly.
And that's absolutely beautiful. What a wonderful way to look at life, and what a wonderful way to realize that you don't have to deal with your problems. You don't have to be stuck. You can do whatever you want to do whenever you want to do it. Yes. And until you violate other people and become a problem, yes, you're free to do so. So there you go. This has been a tremendous Monday episode of Going On Daily. We've had so much fun. We've covered so many things. We've got a new sponsor. We've got a amazing opportunity to be on the radio. And you know why these opportunities present themselves, Luannah?
Why?
It's because of the people. We've got such an amazing group of people on our show. Let's take, for example, tomorrow. You've got Mickey and Kyle on the Tuesday episode of Going On Daily. That's going to be tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Mountain, or if you're like me, I'm right in the middle, 9 a.m. Central, on all those platforms that we talked about earlier. But those guys are going to bring some energy, some heat.
Oh, totally. Everybody great
and
stuff. Yeah.
Every single host that we have is amazing. It's a great team. It's awesome to be a part of this show. I love doing them on Mondays, and I highly recommend anybody that's watching today tune in this same time tomorrow, because you're going to see just as good, and you're going to leave with a smile on your face.
Absolutely.
And I hope they don't talk about sad stuff tomorrow, now that I've basically conditioned the audience that it's going to be happy and they're going to be smiling. So hopefully it's not like,
But the happiness can come through the appreciation of life, like bringing that in, right? Like that guy's attitude was like, I'm going to do this I don't know when the last time is. So that's why I'm always going to give it my all. And that's life, when we're really alive. It's like, okay, let's give it our all. Whatever it is, let's become the better version of me today than I was yesterday. And not because, oh my God, I'm horrible. It's like, no, because life in the universe is always refining. That is the natural process. That's why we love buying everything new, because intrinsically we have the program that we should be renewing. So that's why, but it's externalized through consumption and buying things. But really, it's an innate program in us that knows it wants to move forward, wants to keep refining and getting better and better and better. So I just want to leave with one beautiful Sufi poem from Rumi. You are not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a drop.
Oh, whoopsh. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the way that you end the Monday episode. Before we leave, we definitely want to give one more great shout out to our friends at Mace Fitness. We want to thank you guys for your support, and we are very excited. June 3rd, once again,
Amen.
that is Atlanta, Georgia, FM radio, WDJY, going on daily. Hopefully we can go over there and shoot straight to the top of the ratings. Like I told Ron, that is the goal. We're going to become the #1 radio show in America, one market at a time.
Yeah.
And I'd rather start in Atlanta than say Sheboygan. So here we go, folks. Big time. Everybody, thank you for tuning in today. I hope y'all have a great day here in America. Enjoy the Memorial Day. And remember, those that gave their lives so that we're able to do what we do today. And I hope everybody else enjoys the rest of your Monday.
Yeah.
I'll be back next Monday. You guys can't get rid of me. So thank y'all for that. We'll see you guys later.
Yeah. Bye. You matter. Make it count this day.